Well, that was surprisingly not bad. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with Microsoft's press conference for E3. And yeah, that's basically my thoughts. Not bad. It's like, it was surprisingly not that bad. I mean, I have some questions about what went down, but overall, not a bad conference. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but good enough, I guess. Let's go through here. They started by announcing that they're releasing a slimmer version of the Xbox One called Xbox One S, and they announced at a pretty reasonable price, actually. So that's pretty nice. So that's pretty good, but there is a slight problem with it, and I'll get to that when I get to the end. Then they showed off Gears of War 4, which they showed gameplay for, which was nice, but it looked okay. Nothing spectacular, but it's like the thing about Gears of War for me is that it's very cover system heavy, so I'm not entirely interested in that. And the coloring scheme of it is very off, very grey in every area, so yeah, I'm not too interested. But hey, at least they show gameplay, and the fact that you can have cross-platform between it and the PC version is nice. Let's see, and then we had some Killer Instinct updates, particularly that they are adding in a character from Gears of War as a playable character in it. I didn't know most people play Killer Instinct anymore, but okay. Okay, I mean, it's of all the fighting games out there, I think that's the one that's getting the least amount of play, because well, there are other fighting games that are getting a lot of attention. But okay, I'm mumbling a bit, but I don't really know what to say about this one because I don't really play that one, and I'm not too invested in that. So. Then they showed off Forza Horizon 3. It's a car game, which I don't really care about. It looked really nice, I'll say that. The graphics look really nice, but that's about all I can say about it. Then they showed off a trailer for Recore. Not entirely sure if that's in-game or not. It looked okay. I'm still a little skeptical about that one, because Keiji Inafune is involved with that, and he's a bit toxic these days, considering what happened with Mighty Number 9 and Red Ash. But yeah, we'll see. Then they surprised me a little bit by showing off Final Fantasy 15. That was surprised me, because I thought Final Fantasy 15 was something that you would show up at Sony's press conference, or I don't know if Square Enix has a press conference this year. But if they don't, then they could have shown off at Sony's, because that's pretty much where everyone plays Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, like the market for Final Fantasy on Xbox is very low. So yeah, I don't really get that one. And this is where they lost. Oh, actually, before I move on to that, I think I want to talk a little bit about. Sorry, my camera was fucking up a little bit. Final Fantasy 15 looks pretty good. I'm actually interested in that one, but again, if I'm gonna get it, I'm probably gonna get it on the PS4. One, I own a PS4, and two, I just feel like they would have spent more time on the PS4 to do this one. So, yeah, I'll probably get it on that if I want to get it. And then they lost me, because they decided to show up a small trailer for The Division. If you've seen my last E3 conferences, you know I am bored to tears with that game. I haven't played it, but it looks really dull, and apparently they're not done with it. Okay. Then they showed Battlefield 1. Or more accurately, they showed the exact same trailer that EA showed off twice during their press conference. I'm really hoping that's the last time I'm going to see that trailer, because reusing trailers for conferences is a really bad thing. I got really angry when Square Enix did it last year, and I'm getting pretty angry about it now. Please, Sony, if you're going to show off Battlefield 1, please don't show that trailer again. Or better, show off your other games. Show off some of your own stuff. Perhaps. That could be fun. Let's see. Then we had some Xbox Live updates. Basically a lot of unnecessary updates, like background music, which you could get from anywhere else, really. If you have a computer or a phone or anything like that, you can play background music anyway, so not really any point in that. Basically, it's showing off a lot of things that aren't really that necessary, so that it wasn't really interesting. Then they showed off Minecraft, which they showed off a lot of modding systems, which people have already done, so it's not that interesting. They spent a bit of time on it for VR and such, which didn't really matter at all, because they showed it off last year as well. The game's already out. You don't need to sell it that much. It's been out for years now. Then they showed off a small trailer for Inside, which they showed off. I think they showed it off last year, which is basically sort of a follow-up, but not really a follow-up, in the same style as the game Limbo. And they announced that they were going to give to allow people to play Limbo for free if they got this game as well. So that's nice, I guess. Then they showed off a lot of different indie games, only one of which caught my interest, which was Cuphead. But they showed that off last year, and it still looks really good. I really wish I could play it, but it's apparently not on PlayStation, which is very disappointing. Then they showed off a very weird indie game called We Happy Few, which is essentially a first-person game about a guy who takes pills to make a lot of gruesome things look more happy, and he's apparently being controlled by a lot of people wearing mime mask or something. It seems very generic and not really that interesting. Then they showed off Gwent, which from what I can gather, in the Witcher games, there's a card game in it called, well, Gwent. And now they're making a game solely based on that card game. Alright, that's nice for them, but again, I don't really have the time to waste on card game. And I haven't played a Witcher game yet, so I probably should do that first. Then they showed a trailer for Tekken 7. That's nice. I'm really interested in Tekken 7 because, well, I love the Tekken series, and from what they showed off, it looked good, but it also looked a bit different compared to other Tekken games. So I'm not entirely sure about this one, but I'm still gonna get it. I'm still gonna get it because I love the Tekken series. I usually buy every Tekken game that comes out, at least the numbered ones, on console. Let's see. Then they had a small trailer for Dead Rising 4. I have yet to play a Dead Rising game, so I don't really know what to say. My brother owns Dead Rising 2, though, so I might check that out. It looks really ridiculous, and I hear that's the appeal, so might be interested in that. Then they showed up a trailer for Scalebound, which is a game that showed up, was it last year or the year before that? But it's a Platinum game, and it looks really interesting. You're playing as a kind of generic, sort of teenager, alongside some other friends of his, riding dragons, fighting this giant spider octopus kind of thing. And the way that they showed off the battle was really interesting. You're using a dragon to assist you, fighting against this big thing, punching it. I think at some point he turned into a werewolf as well. It looks really ridiculous and really fun, actually. So yeah, that looks very interesting, I'll admit to that. Then they showed off a gameplay trailer for Sea of Thieves, which is a new Rare pirate game, or a pirate game made by Rare. It looked not too interested on that one. Then they showed off State of Decay 2. I've heard decent things about State of Decay, but it's another zombie game, and I don't really care about those. Then they showed off a trailer for Halo Wars 2. They didn't really show any gameplay. It looks like a real-time strategy game, apparently, but I don't really have anything to say about it. They didn't really show all that much other than that. And then we got to the big announcement of theirs, Project Scorpio. Essentially, it's apparently a new console that's going to have 4K visuals and VR support. And from sources I've heard, a lot of what they said in the trailer was a lot of technobabble that was a bunch of bullshit. Well, and it seems a bit weird to me that they're announcing this now, considering that apparently they're just undercutting the Xbox One S because they announced this right off the bat. Granted, it's not going to come out until next year, but the holiday next year actually. But it's still really weird that they announced this now. Also, I'm not entirely sure what it is. Like, is it a console? Like, is it really a console though, or is it a chip that you put into some? Is it a programming some? I'm not entirely sure what to say about this one. It's very weird. But yeah, overall, not a bad conference really. It's like they showed off a lot of games. They showed off a lot of gameplay. There were some problems, like they fell off a bit towards when they started with the Division and such. Picked up a little bit at the end with Tekken and Scalebound and such, but it left me a bit confused. So, it was an okay conference. It's like, well, it was not bad, above average, I would say, maybe. So I'm thinking if I were to give it a score, I would say potentially either a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10. I don't really want to give it a 7 because that fall back at the end, at the middle really kind of made me a bit uninterested, and the Project Scorpio left me a bit confused. So probably a 6.5 out of 10. Not a bad conference, just slightly above average, but I don't know. I don't think it's one of the best conferences I've ever seen. It was okay. It was slightly above average, not bad. Okay, so I think the next conference is the PC Gaming Show, and I think I'm going to leave videos on that until after I'm done with Ubisoft. So I'll lump those two in together. But Microsoft showed off a lot, so I figured I could do one video for them. Alright, so I'll see you after I'm done with the PC Gaming Show and Ubisoft. See you later.